All right, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. First of all, thank you all for the support. I'm going to tell you that every day. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all the interaction. And that's why I'm up early as hell today, because I have a bunch of errands to run today. But it's 6:50 in the morning. 6:50 a.m. I'm going to get this done, get it on its way. On the second channel, I'm going to have a video. It was recorded the other day. I'm going to have to do the follow-up to that. That one is going to be China Mac talking about Adam, but Adam made a response. I definitely have to get on that since I did the first one. So stay tuned. Those are on the other channel, the Dubess channel. Those of you that aren't aware, DUBESS is my other channel. Now, today's video. I'm going to say the person's name. Again, I'm not going to say their neighborhood. And we're going to just get into it. So, I met this individual by the name of Diablo. I met him around 2003, New Folsom, right? And, he was one of those vatos where there's always those guys, right? Has a kind of like that stereotypical look. The tattoos and the way they talk and shit. Like that stereotypical pinto. Convict or whatever you want to call it, pinto. Well, he had come from a level 3. I want to say it was Centinela. I can't be for sure. But when he first met me, he again, I had authority on the yard, but in the grand scheme of things, that don't mean shit, right? He figured out who was doing what, and then decided he wanted to strike up a friendship, I guess, with me. But when we first started talking, I remember one of the very first conversations that we had was, now remember, I'm not from LA. I'm not from LA County. And Diablo was from Orange County. So I don't know if he thought that this would be a bonding conversation or something. But he started telling me that where he had come from, which again I believe was Centinela level 3, that they had got into it. The vatos from Orange County had got into it with the vatos from LA. And I remember when he brought it up and he was like, yeah, Holmes, this and this and that. And I remember looking at him, and like I tell people, conversations in the joint are not frivolous. There might be a few dudes that are very frivolous with their conversations, and they usually, if they're lucky, they get sent on the hotline, they get sent to whack somebody so they can learn how to do their time and add seg and the shoe. Go sit down for a couple years and figure it out, right? But the rule of thumb should always be, every conversation, there's a motive, there's an angle. Figure it out. What's being asked? Why is it being asked? These things need to be going through your head as you're maintaining a normal conversation, okay? So when he tells me this, again, like I said, I was like, what is this about, right? So I said, look, Holmes, just so you know, we don't do that around here, eh? We don't set trip like that. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not saying that. I said, no, you need to understand something, homie. The fact that you brought that up, all it would take is for somebody else to hear the conversation and then push it on you that you came over here bringing whatever you were involved in, you bringing it over here and still set tripping and trying to poison people. I said, that would be bad, homie, for you. And he's like, oh, no, I was just letting you know, why I went to the shoe, this and that. I said, okay, just don't bring up that kind of shit, set tripping and shit. So he's like, all right. And after that, all of our interactions were cordial. He used to stop by all the time. Hey, Holmes, how you doing? This, because I was yard crew. So I'm out there every day, all day, right? He was in a building where we had a bloquero in the building. I may tell that story too, but this dude was an idiot. And he wound up, that story that led up to that, maybe, if I ever tell that story, that shit will blow people's mind. But anyways, he wound up getting snatched up off the yard. And then subsequently, while he was in ADSEG, he was told that the reason why he was snatched up is because he was told that I wanted him dead. The cops told him I wanted him dead. And so they snatched him up for his own safety. The thing was, is he knew what he had been doing, so he wasn't taking that chance. And he wound up locking it up. Okay. So when he left, Diablo was asked, the same dude, he was asked if he would like to take care of the block for us. He jumped to it. Because, we usually, whoever's our bloqueros, whoever's taking care of our blocks, we do make sure, they're in control of the kitty for every building, the building that they reside in. But we also make sure that we kick them down with some dope. Either if they use, do whatever you want with it. If they don't use, which was what I always prefer, put some food in your locker, or send some money to your kids or your lady or whatever. It's yours. Here you go. And so yeah, he jumped to it, and he was gonna get high. I knew that. But that's his business, right? So he actually did a decent job of taking care of that building for us, right? Now, a glimpse into the inner workings of something. So everybody that was on the mesa there, we had been there for a little while now, and we had kept hearing about beef facility. Their mesa kept getting, it was a revolving door. Somebody would get on the mesa, somebody else would get snatched up, or the new guy that just got in gets snatched up. He's going to the oil, he got caught with something, whatever. That's very chaotic. So one day I approached the other meseros. I said, hey, we need to chop it up. We went over there and we talked, and I told him, listen, I was thinking about the chaos that we keep hearing about on beef facility. Why don't we go ahead and set something in motion to alleviate that, so that business is always going to run smooth here, regardless of who's here? And they were like, well, what are you talking about? And I said, listen, maybe all of us can't, but I believe we probably could. My idea is we each should have somebody on this yard that we really trust. And, individually, everyone clear with your tío. But let's have it to where if I get snatched up today, right now, this other individual is going to step into my seat. So nobody has to look for somebody. It doesn't have to get cleared. It's already cleared. It's the same, basically the same line, right? You get snatched up, but the thing is I'm going to tell you who mine's going to be. You're going to tell me who yours is going to be. When we have to sit down and discuss it, we're not going to bring them to sit down and discuss it with us. However, they're going to be made aware of everything that we're doing. That way, it's a smooth transition. It was agreed unanimously. They said, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea, homie. That way, the same people who were being represented on the yard will continue to be represented. They will continue to get their feria. Business will continue to run smoothly. And each one of us, when we say, hey, Holmes, this vato's going to take my seat if I bounce, if I go anywhere, if I get snatched up, whatever, this vato's going to take my seat. It's going to be somebody that they're going to understand, where they know how I think. This person is going to think not exactly like me, but along the same lines, because I'm going to lace this individual up, or we're of like mind already. That's why we're close. So that's what we all did. I'm not gonna say the name, but the person that I tapped to be my replacement was actually from upstate. My reasons for picking him were twofold. For one, without a single doubt in my mind, this person was the most loyal person to me on that yard. This dude would have rolled me through anything. Matter of fact, let me say it's threefold. We'll say threefold, not even twofold. Secondly, he was from upstate. There were a lot of upstaters. There was probably about 15 upstaters on that yard, on that facility, right? While I was there, I used to always try to look out for them. Me not being from LA, me having gone through the California Youth Authority, and, you know, people would like to throw around that, oh, hey, this vato, he's 13 and a half. Oh, serio? Let's get down. Let's get down. Every time. Let's get down. So in YA, I had a chip on my shoulder about that. I didn't like seeing vatos that were from LA get bullied by dudes from LA. In the joint, you don't really see that. But you would see where they would say, hey, this just ask that vato. Vato just got here. What did he stick his nose in somebody's business? Anyway, so I wanted to make sure that they were going to be all right, that everybody was going to be treated equally, because I made sure that while I was there. And I tapped somebody that was from the area. Third point. Third reason why I wanted this individual in my seat. If I get snatched up, whatever. He wasn't into politics. He was going to do this because I asked him to, and he was loyal to me and who I was directly under. And by him not being political, he'll never snake nobody. And no matter what anybody says about me, I've never snaked nobody. My own rivals, and I'm not talking other factions, rivals within who I was running around with, knew. They might not like me, but I wasn't going to snake nobody. I never pencil whip nobody. If you got it, it's because you earned it. You had it coming. So, I wind up getting snatched up. Me and the dude that was basically my right hand man on the mess time. We get snatched up. He gets snatched up first. And then the Judas did an okie doke and snatched me up, right? So I went to the oil. My camarada steps up. Now, unfortunately, maybe 3 months after I leave, I get a huila, right? No, actually I got a visit because I had left my cell phone out there. I got a visit from my homeboy. My camarada that I left on the yard had access to my cell phone and would call my homeboy. And he had called him and told him, hey, let homie know they put me up for transfer to Sat F. I'm gonna leave the seat to Diablo. The one I had told you about was talking about the set tripping, right? So I was like, all right, cool. They must have had conversations. Diablo must know what time it is. As far as our expectations, right? So unfortunately, everybody, all of us that had made that initial agreement, hey, we're going to pick this dude, we're going to pick that dude. A lot of the other dudes picked the wrong guys. There was too much inexperience. But I was in the oil. We were in the oil. They were going to have to figure it out, sink or swim. So I had another really good camarada out there. He used to bring in a lot of dope for me. While I was in the oil, he used to look out and send me dope. I would send feria. He would get a clavo for me, send me the amount that I wanted. That way I was ready. When I went to the bay, I had dope to drop off, right? So a pegada happens. Vatos come. Every time a pegada happened on C facility, everything came to me. All the goodies came to me, and then I issued everything out. You know, when we're in that life, we have code names that we use. You know, it's pretty known that the raza from Northern California have a tier name, and then, you know, their neighborhood name. They have different names. A lot of us from Southern California do the same. You know, in a Huila, you're not gonna put, you know, so and so's real name. We're gonna have a code name for that vato. He knows his code name, or if it's somebody that we're gonna target, we're not gonna say his name in a Huila. We're gonna put a whole completely different name, but we know who we're talking about. So I will say one of my code names was Pizzawa, right? Flaco, skinny. Sometimes it would say Pizzawa, sometimes it would say Delgado, sometimes it was Delgadín, but it was known who they were referring to. That was one of them. So Diablo came with a clavo, right? And he sends everything my way. I see a Huila, and it says Pizzawa, right? Well, there actually was a dude there with us next tier over in the Hoyo whose name was Flaco. So when I see it, I immediately shoot it his way, right? Shower time, it gets to him, boom. As soon as the next showers will run for him, he brings it, but he sends it back, and he tells me, homie, that wasn't for me. I don't know who that's for, but that's not mine. So I sent it back to Diablo, right? And I'm like, hey, homie, we need to find out where that goes, because it doesn't belong to Flaco. And he's like, I know whose it is. I'll take care of it. Diablo winds up leaving, going back to C facility. My camarada that used to always look out, him and a couple of homies got into it with some woods at Yard Recall, some random ass shit. They get into it, right? And my camarada that used to send me the dope lands in the pod in front of us, right? So I mean, he's in C pod, he's in C module, right? He sends me a weed like, hey homie, did you get that? Because you never sent a response, huh? And I was like, what? And so anyways, he tells me, yeah, I put your name on it. I said, nothing came on the last packet that said my name on it. And he said, I put Pizzawa. I said, we never put that on those fucking, you know what I mean? And so then the investigation begins. The vato that was Diablo Sally, when Diablo said, hey, I know where it goes, I know where it belongs, he stayed. Diablo left. Diablo kept it. It was 6 grams of heroin in there, and Diablo kept it. Remember, Diablo is supposedly out there representing me. Not me, as I'm nobody, but me and who I was directly under, right? And he just stole from us. We just found out he stole from us. So the Huila goes out, ASAP that. Send a Huila to C facility. This is what this individual did. Give him what he's got coming, right? I want to remind you guys, Diablo was that stereotypical guy. Kind of big dude, tag back, had that walk, that talk. But when he got touched with them knives, he became a track star. The toughness went out of him. He ran, still got poked up, but he ran, and he ran his ass off into the sunset. Never to be seen again. Never to be heard again. This is not even a fluke. This type of shit happens in there. Would I have tapped Diablo to take that seat? No. I picked the right guy. The administration transferred him. He picked the wrong guy. Do I hold it against him? No. Because the pickings were slim. But the audacity of somebody like Diablo, right? Fool, you're going to get high all the time just having that spot. But this is why I told you. I've told the story. It's on my Anchor podcast. It's even on here. Why I never did drugs in prison. Because of shit like that. That dude had a date. He probably still went home. That dude could have stayed there, had some say on the yard. Stress, of course. That's very stressful. But he could have partied, you know, have the little perks of being in that position, but instead he got the pokes of being a snake. He got whacked for biting the hand that fed him. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like, share this, and leave a comment. I appreciate you guys. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.